Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer. Today, let's talk about detachment in your spiritual walk. I'm a psychologist in my day job, so I incorporate psychology and spiritual path. And detachment. I was listening to a book from I think the 1300s, around then. Yeah, it's called The Ascent of Mount Carmel. By this guy, St. John of the Cross, and he was called the Doctor of Detachment. Nothing like a saint and detachment. And a lot of different faith practices teach about proper detachment, But let me teach it really quickly to us so that we can understand, because when you're not detached where you have like a cold heart, you still have like a warm heart, a loving heart, but you're detached, as in one of the quotes I wrote down a long time ago that I found in my journal yesterday from St. John of the Cross is that whatever you're attached to, that's as low as you'll go. And so like if your attachment is to divine love, to God, then you ascend up to that. Your heart grows and you grow in consciousness up to that. If I'm attached to something inanimate or a person even, then it's like, I don't know, in my inner vision, I just sort of saw the level of growth that they're at, and even less than that, you go down to that. Now, it's not, you can love other people, right? Now, a verse that goes with this too, right, is, I just heard it's in Psalm 27. It says, "When my father and mother forsake me, the Lord picks me up," right? So let me connect these. It's just when you're attached to your passions, to your desires, and they're running your life, you're hooked into them, and you're only looking in that, where your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. That's where, oh, I wrote it down yesterday with this acronym, right? ART. Watch, be aware of your art, right? This is your art. Your art in life is where your attention and your resources, that's like where your money goes, and your time. Be aware of where your attention, your resources, and your time go, because that's what grows. That's what divine love has given you. Let me go back to this verse. When my father and mother forsake me, the Lord lifts me up. God, the creator, can come in, right? In all of your wounds, because I work on that with myself and with other people, all your wounds, whatever's left over in childhood where you didn't feel the perfect love come in yet, we pray, forgive us. Jesus taught us to pray, and Jesus is always teaching higher consciousness. I welcome all religions. I always say that, but let's look at, there's no but in that. It's like God created all of us, right? Jesus said, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. If we have this experience of our parents owing us more love because they were unconscious in certain ways, they didn't know how to love consciously and fully like divine love, okay? So imagine divine love is the fullness of love. And just imagine that our parents only knew about, between 10 and 20% of that, right? And so we're missing all of this. And in our egotism, in our personality self, we're going to feel lack anyway. When you get into your expansive soul self, you are a soul, you're in a body, then you have more of an awareness of something higher, right? But so wherever my mother and my father forsake me, wherever they left off, right? Wherever that 90% left is that you want to know love, instead of seeking it in all of these other places, looking down, attaching yourself to all of these lesser things, or trying to squeeze it out of a person, God has all of it. Divine love has all of it. But we'd rather have what's that saying? It's like a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. We'd rather go take something and put it in our hand. That's our flesh nature wants to do that. It's trying to control. It wants to grab on to things like that. There's a Depeche Mode song that goes like that. Grabbing hands, grab all they can, you know. And so understand that you want to. I hope you're following this logic, right? Take a moment just to be present. Know yourself as soul in your body, in this moment right now. In this moment, there is no other moment. So you have permission to set everything aside and be present. What are you aware of in this moment? The sun is just going down right over there, you know. I honor that you share this presence with me. Our society teaches that we always have to be consuming in order to be filled up, you know. But we pray, and I encourage you to pray sincerely. Forgive us our debts, whatever more love we owe to other people. Forgive us that. If we can reconcile with them, help us, give us the right words. And actually, you know, when someone wants to apologize to you, like, you don't care about the words. It's just like they're actually coming in humility and saying, I recognize that I didn't love you in this way, and you're worth more. You know, I can say that to you. You're worth more than what they chose to act in that moment. You know, forgive them. They know not what they're doing. It doesn't mean excuse them. It means you are always worth more. So start knowing your worth. Stop waiting for them. You give your debt up to divine love, up to God. God is divine love. God has enough love to fill that up in you. And so we pray, forgive us our debts. Forgive us all of the debts of love, of consciousness, of kindness that we owed to other people, but we didn't pay it in that moment. Forgive us all of that so we can come to you without this heavy weight of guilt and shame, you know, as we forgive everyone else, as we go, here's all their debt, God. We give this up to you so that we're not having this whole tally, you know, tally marks of, well, this person owes me this and this person owes me this. That's a big weight that we're carrying around, to keep having this debt of other people, of what they owed us, what we think they owed us. Maybe they owed us so much more and we didn't even know that we're worth so much more. And God's like, as long as you keep holding on to that long list, you're not letting me come and fill that in. You know, I didn't know I was going to talk to you about this. And it's so awesome, like this amazing part of St. John of the Cross's book, Ascent to Mount Carmel. He's talking about rising up to union with God. It's really, really deep, and the dark night of the soul and all of these intricate things. But he was saying, go into this inner room and lock the door, like the disciples locked the doors after Jesus rose from the dead, but they didn't know what was going on. Jesus can still come in there. And Jesus said, when you pray, go into your inner room, your innermost room, and close the door. And when you speak to your Father in quiet, he will see you. But it's just like, you're closing off your outer senses. You're closing off all of these memories. I think it's in my video called I Am. Here I am. I think it's in that one. It's somewhere where I'm out on this green field. Might be the one after Here I Am. But I'll look and I'll do my best to link it in the comments, or just remind me, link this video in the comments, one of your videos, if I forget, because if I post this later, I sometimes forget. In it, I have this old prayer from Saint, Ignatius of Loyola that talks about M-U-L-E. It's called the Sechupe, but it's and I used to have that on the front. It said mule, but like people weren't watching it, so I was like, maybe I ought to change it. Anyway, it's I give you, God, all my memories, all my understanding, all my liberties, my entire will. You have given all to me. I give it all back to you. And so what is that? Is St. John of the Cross says, when you go in to your inner room, when you're praying to God, if you let go of all your memories like we did in that moment, you're just not weighed down by any of this stuff anymore. He says Jesus can come into the locked room like he came into the locked room where the disciples were there. It says the doors were locked for fear of the people that might attack them because they just crucified Christ, you know. And so Jesus can come in. And what you hear from divine love is worth so much more than even spiritual memories and all these things that you're holding on to. We're holding on to these debts. We're holding on to this sadness from our parents, from our childhood, from, you know, what we wanted. And read Psalm 27. You can meditate and contemplate on that. And it says, you know, when your mother and father forsake you in whatever area they did. Because mind you, when we get in fights and we get triggered by other people in this world, it's often because of an old childhood wound that they're now replaying. And so it goes back to your parents all the time. It's the love that you wanted in childhood, and now it's not being given in this other person or this circumstance at your work or whatever. And you're like, give me that, you know, give me. And it's like, God's like, I got it all for you. Just let go of all those debts and let go of your anger. Let go of your resentment. Resentment means to keep giving it back. Resend. I'm resending them the bill. Give it to God. Give it to God and watch in faith what will happen. Now, before I made this video, I kept getting talked to them about, there's a song by Big Star called 13 that my friend Elliott Smith, I was friends with this musician, he's passed on now, and it was it's called 13, and it's about this 13-year-old, and I used to have it on my YouTube, but I took it off. My friends are over there. I'm all blushing. I took it off because I was gonna put it on a different website and get permission from Big Star. And so the whole song, it's so sweet. It's about a boy asking a girl to a dance. And it's such this beautiful metaphor about life, and divine love wants to come. And it says, you know, let me walk you home from school. We're in a school right now. You know, let me take you to the dance. And it's an invitation. It's an invitation for divine love to lead you. And what if you've never been to a school dance before, you know? You're 13. And so it's an invitation. It's so sweet. It's so tender to be like a child again. And it's so scary because when we were hurt in childhood and we've been hurt by other people, you think, you know, if God wanted to love me, why would he have let God has beyond he and she. Why would God have divine love, this supernatural love had let me experience so much pain and rejection by other people or in my past? And it's just like, no, we don't know all the mysteries of that. But we know now you have this invitation and this opportunity to know and to walk in love. And it's like this divine union that the whole ascent of Mount Carmel, that St. John of the Cross is talking about it in so much depth, not death, so much beauty. All right, I invite you, whatever social media you're on, to come over to my YouTube channel and subscribe and get the notifications and write comments and share and all that stuff, because that's your effort mixing with mine to make this go out to more people, because I don't know how to do the algorithms yet. I haven't figured that out, even though I've been doing this for 3 years. Maybe I don't have the patience. Maybe I ought to. Maybe it's meant to be just like this, so it grassroots grows. I wish you so much love. Thank you.